fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. You ever heard of a fact check? Well, yeah, you have. You heard of a fact check. You have checked fact checks before, haven't you? Yeah. You go and you like read an article and you're like, oh my gosh, is that true? And you look up fact checks, don't you? Yep. And when you listen to the news, they go, oh, fact check says this ain't true. Fact check says this is false. Fact check says mostly true or mostly false. Weird stuff like that. Okay, so what does that even mean though? Especially since truth and fact are already not two things. It confuses me. They say they're doing a fact check and then they talk about truth and false. But a fact is not itself true like that anyway. And I know this again because of metaphors. I love symbolism. It's very helpful for detecting patterns. So the etymology of truth is this pan-Indo-European word or suffix form of the word root deru, to be firm, solid, or steadfast. And when you go even further there, it turns out that root word is also the root word for stuff like having to do with wood and trees. That's right, trees. Your metaphor for truth is trees. Anyway, what is a fact? Well, a fact is an action or anything done, especially evil. From Latin, factum, an event, occurrence, deed, or achievement. But again, the point is that it's anything done, but especially an evil deed. What? And so then you got to look deeper. You got your pan-Indo-European root. Well, I don't know how to say this stuff, but it's D-H-E. And I just go, duh, to set or put. So this one's a little harder and it's not as obvious. And this is more like my theory. So don't come yelling at me. You could disagree. So to me, to set or to put in terms of fact, which we've already related directly to truth, is that a fact is something that comes from truth. Like my metaphor here is that a fact is a piece of the tree of truth. It's part of truth. It's just a part of it that's been cut off from the rest of that truth. And then it's been put someplace else and stood up as though it is truth itself, when it's just, a fact. That should remind you of a strong man right now. A fake truth. What kind of fruit is it going to bear? Now, this metaphor isn't as perfect as I want it to be at first, though, because, what if you got some rooting liquid and you put that piece of tree in it and it starts to root and you put it in the ground and you make yourself a clone of the truth, right? But did you know that clone ain't going to be necessarily as good as the original? It's going to be smaller. It's going to take a longer time. Especially if you're taking a fact from one tree over here, you take another fact from another tree over there. You're taking over truth then, ain't you? What does that mean? Am I condemning agriculture? No, I'm just saying, look at the way we interfere with our own understandings of this symbolism of truth that we have. What is a fact? An evil deed done. When you have separated part of truth from itself in order to do what you want, regardless of the truth itself. So that every fact is both true and false already. And again, this ain't about subjectivism. This ain't about relativism. No. I mean to tell you that life is just complicated like that. And when you separate truth from itself via factualization, you are symbolizing the fall of humanity itself. It's already a manipulation to whoever's in charge. Oh, I picked my fact over there, and I picked a fact from over there, and maybe there was a dead piece of tree over there that got hit by lightning, and I took that over there, and I stitched them all together, and I stood them up, and I said, that's a tree, and it bears good fruit. Well, maybe it does, maybe it don't. Maybe it's a monstrosity. You don't know necessarily. You have to test it. Otherwise, it very well may just be a straw man. And talk about cherry picked. Ha! Bye-bye.